Good morning, ladies and gents. Give me a second to share out. I was actually working on that as we speak, and then we will get started on something new. I know this is my first time on this channel going live, so I appreciate anybody and everybody that comes in. Come chit chat with me. Let's get to know each other. I think it would be fun to create together. My head's down. I do apologize. I'm just sharing out real quick. And then we will get to crafting. Um, just going through and sharing. Tell me how you guys are doing what's today? Wednesday? Yep, Wednesday. Sorry, get my days mixed up. So I have learned something new, which I think is exciting. So, almost done. I will try to do more lives, but right now we are set up in the living room, so we don't have very much space. We are going upstairs eventually. As soon as my brother is done upstairs, we will be setting up there. I may take you guys on the journey depending on how messy it gets. If it gets too bad, then I will just set it up and show you guys the end result. So this is our cluster behind me. My craft stuff, jewelry over here. We got our candles here, hubby's t-shirt stuff here. So we kind of try to make it work, but it can be hectic. When you guys come in, please say hello. Let me know who is here. Any new folks? Need to get to know y'all. I see that I have gained 6 subscribers, which I am grateful for. I do thank you guys for that. Very excited to get to know you guys and what your crafting hack is and what you love to do. Whether it is owning your own shop or if it's just for fun. I like to do a lot of things with my daughters, because I have 2. The oldest works a lot in college and all that good jazz, so I don't get to see a lot of her. But the younger one, let me tell you, she can craft. She likes to do the clay with me, the pommelier clay. We actually have a new brick here that we have yet to work into. And then the resin, she likes to pick the molds and the colors. I mix them and pour them, and then she'll hit the button on the little lamp. So if you see something going off, that's just me curing my little skulls here. And that's what we're going to be working on today, because I did a few different ones, which is really pretty in color. They just don't like to show the details too much. This is one of my favorites because it is the pearlized blue. Because in the light, get my fingers to work correctly. You'll see that blue little pigment, which I think is pretty. And then when I first started, I did the clear, which is really cute. And then some deep red, which it doesn't really show on the camera. And then I was just playing around with some different colors. You're never going to know until you try. I'm not a fan of these because the hats didn't cure like I want it to, but the little skulls with the hats I thought were cute, so I tried to do a chocolate hat on it. This is, these are the 3 colors that I use. The agate, the purple agate, the regular red agate, and rose quartz in color. So in the light in person, it shows up really, really well. And then it has some really teeny ones, which I thought were cute. So my goal was to, and on some of these I already did it. I just gotta find which ones. Yep, the clear ones. I don't know if you guys could see it, but I did a teeny tiny hole on the top. And I'll work with that a little bit more to make it widen, just so I could fit either my jump ring or my wire or whatever the case may be. You could do it on the top and on the bottom. Now, it was a little tricky at first when I did it. Sorry about the lighting. So if you guys can't really see me, see if I can turn that just a smidge. Maybe that'll help. No. Oh, that didn't work out well. I'll just leave that just like that. So I like to wear my scrap t-shirts. They're not holy or anything. Just that way, if I do get something on my shirt, I'm not going to say, well, I wanted to wear this out to dinner next day. Well, if you get resin on it, it's kind of hard to get resin out because resin is there. It's not going anywhere. I have a t-shirt that is covered in it, and I call it my smock. So if you see me with a logo, don't pay attention to that. It's just scrap t-shirt that I'm comfortable wearing, and I don't mind getting messy. The glitter on my shirt. So nothing to worry about there. I am just, I stopped sharing because I started talking. Sorry. If you guys do hop in, please share out. Put in the comments who you are, where you're coming from, what your hack is. Introduce yourself. I am a mother of 5. 3 are my stepkids, 2 are my own. But I do treat them like they all are mine. I love them all equally. My stepdaughter is getting ready in August to have our first grandchild, so that is exciting. We are very excited for that. My husband is over the moon excited. So I'll try to get this all shared out. Let's see. Who they are. So I'll wait a couple minutes, hoping that somebody does come in. Now, there's a teeny tiny table behind me. If you do see something pop up, it's just my cat. So some of you that may come up may know me, my husband, and my kids from our other channel. We do have 2 now. This is a newer one. This is for the creating version of our other channel. Our other channel is a paranormal channel. And we do lives on there. We haven't done a lot in a while because there's been some health issues and personal things that have come up. Other than that, we have tried our best to keep up with it. Hey, Gwen, how you doing, hon? And we are hoping to get back into it. But today we are going to be drilling holes in the top of the skulls here and trying to do a rat spiral to connect to them. This is the pearlized blue. Doesn't really show. My lighting sucks in this living room. But it has the blue little pearl tint to it. Let's hope these are done. Feel like it. Still a little sticky. The bigger ones always take longer, but this is the mold for the skull. And then I just peel it out, and I think Yep, this has an eye patch on it, so it is our pirate skull, so which is pretty cool. Yep. And this is the one that had the 3 colors in there: the purple agate, the regular red agate, and the rose quartz. So we'll peel the small ones and let those sit in air. I like to put them back under once they're out, because then all the stickiness from, like you see here, put my gloves back on, from the skull and the color, and it doesn't always cure right away. These have cured beautifully because it has set, and then I also take them outside and let them sit out in the sun and get the UV ray from that, which works wonders. Because I already took it out. I'm looking for my drill. So I'm going to pan down. Do not mind the dirtiness on the table. I've been working with a lot of craft projects recently. Trying to move these guys over so you guys can see what I am doing. Again, I do have a lot of craft stuff. So I do hold just like that. And then it's not that loud. Thanks, babe. And then I will hold it all the way down so I can't hold it no more. I'll place my finger. My finger got in the way. And then I will drill it down. Now it will take a couple passes because this drill, the bit that I'm using on it, there we go. And then that is where we get our little hole. And then the bit that I used is actually a bit for carving and wood and stuff. To me, it doesn't hurt the bit at all. So I do it again with the hat. Same thing. All you gotta do is just brace your finger. As long as you have balance and you're steady with it. See? Before I blow it off. And then you can actually see the hole in that one. Does not matter whether it's perfectly centered because I am totally off. And then once we're done that, I will go ahead and do I want those? No. If I can't find my eye hooks, I'm going to take the bit of this with the little hole at the bottom, the little ring, and I will cut the bottom of it. This is just scrap anyway. And then what I'll do is I'll take some resin. Itty bitty teeny weeny thing. And that's it. All you need is a drop. That's it. Now it will have a bubble on it, and I do have to watch with my gloves. I don't want to get stuck to it, but I don't mind my pliers because I can easily take that off. Just what I thought. There we go. And then I just hold it in there, just like that, and then bring the UV light over, and it will cure it to the point that it will stay standing up. And now I don't even have to hold it. So that gives you a base of where you want to hang your earring piece, which works very, very well. And it's sturdy. It's not going to come off. UV resin is the one that I use is a hard resin. And I've used these for a while now, and I absolutely positively love it. So it does work wonders. So I will let it sit and go for the full minute, and then I will move it off to the side. Let's see if these are ready. Okay. So my other ones that I've just finished are absolutely gorgeous. I love the different colors. And the light, you get like different color each time you turn it. And I think it's really pretty. After we're done, I'll do a close-up photo on them. Just so, yeah, that one still needs a little bit more. You can always tell before you bring it out because the color will move around. Yeah, so I'll leave that one in. Yeah, that one's done. And this one actually created a crevice because it had an air pocket at the bottom, at the top of the head, which is perfect for me because then it's one less thing I have to do. I don't have to drill a hole in that one. I just have to fill it. Like that. That is really pretty. It's so sad you guys can't really see the colors. But I will definitely take pictures of everything that I have and put it up. But these, I've been asked multiple times throughout the year that we have started our store on, have I made skull beads? Well, no, but it's not that I haven't tried. It's just I didn't know the proper way of doing it. So I did some research and I did look it up and all that good jazz. So I did find out what is the proper way of doing it without hurting myself or the project. Because I was going to slice a hole in the bottom here and then just slip something in there, which would have been okay. But if I wanted to use it for something else, at that point I couldn't because then I wasn't going to add anything else into it. So these are small enough to the point that they can be used for beads or just for wire wrapping. Now I have the pearlized pink in here, and I am going to use that. I did let it sit, and if you let it, after you mix it and let it sit for a little bit, about maybe a minute or so, it does get rid of all of those air bubbles, and that way you don't have that problem. Now I do take it by the popsicle stick, or I pinch the cup and make a little spout, and then I just feed it on in there. This only may make a few, which is fine. But again, just experimenting and crafting with something new. And then I just like to scrape the rest of it down with my popsicle stick and then just dip it out. So I think it's pretty cool, pretty nifty. And then again, as when we get upstairs, I will try to do more lives. It's just hard to do it down here when you have other people around, which isn't the problem. It's just the noise of getting things done. So I will put those under, and then I will bring you guys back up to me. There we go. So we have our hole up here. Now, if you get the resin in that little hole, you can easily just, without turning it on, or turn it on the lowest setting. You don't want to turn it on too bad, and then take it completely out. Because if it takes it out, then you're going to have to drill again then that can be a pain in the butt. And then I just sand around it, make sure all of the resin is off of that hook, that little loop that we have. That way it does not interfere with our artwork or what we're going to do. So that way it is all ready to go. I am going to take these off for this. Now I am going to hold it and do the spiral. How I made that hook. Hey Sam, morning. And then I'm just going to continue to wrap it around as thick as I want it. And if I want it, I might hold it. Spirals don't have to be perfect if you don't want it to be. And since is working with resin easy, I want to make some. It can be. To me, it's fun. I enjoy it. The only thing you need to know with UV resin, there's a difference in between epoxy resin and UV resin. UV resin, you can cure it with a light, or you can just stick it outside and wait 5 minutes and let the sun do its thing. With epoxy resin, depends on which one you get. Like the one on my table over here, you see with the spout. You actually have to do a part one. So it's like 50% of this one, 50% of that one. And then you mix it for however long. I think mine's 3 to 5 minutes. And then you let it sit for a couple minutes so all the air bubbles rise to the top and they're gone. Of course, you're going to have it with epoxy resin more than the UV resin because as you're mixing it, you're allowing the air to go back into it. But when you're mixing your epoxy, there's more to it. Like you have to wait 24 hours to 48 hours until it's completely cured. Now on my table back here, you see the green mat. That is my fast cure mat. So I put my earring holder mold on there, or I did these guys. They are guitar sets with a little bit of alcohol ink, and I put it on there, and they actually go together, so they will hold your picks in there. So you can do a lot more. Yeah, UV resin is one of my favorites. That's exactly what I use, and I use this. I got it in a case of 8 for this size for I think $28, which is not bad. And I'm still working on the first 2, about maybe 6, 8 months later, which works very well because it does not take a lot for UV resin. I mean, if you're making earrings, you're making different things, and that's fine. But with the epoxy resin, that allows you to do bigger projects. Now, when you do the epoxy resin, which takes the 50/50, you want to look at the time that it takes to cure, the time it takes to demold. Sometimes you can demold it within 24 hours, but then let it sit for another 24 hours to completely harden. I leave it in there for the whole 48 hours, then I demold it. Just because I have had some experiences where if you do what it says, demold it within the 24 hours, it's still going to get soft. And I have an example of that. Oops. So I was making these cute little trinket trays, and they're still sticky and soft, but it said demold it within 24 hours. So I followed the book, but you're still able to bend it. You're not supposed to bend them. And they turned out really cute, but you're not supposed to bend them. And then the top is still a little sticky, so I just recommend leaving them in the mold for the whole 48 hours if you don't have the curing mat. And with this, I didn't use the curing mat. I just let it sit. So with that, yeah. But the UV resin, just get yourself a lamp. These are you can actually use the nail lamps that you would use at a salon. And with the nail lamps, it's the same thing as the UV lamps. They're the same thing. So if you were to go get your nails done and get tips on there or gel, whatever, then that's what they would put you under. I have a UV lamp, and that's perfect. Yeah, the UV lamp for your nails would work. I actually have one. Yeah. I have one that I was using for mine and little girls' nails. It's the same thing. So, and it works. And this one has a timer, 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 30, 60, and 99 seconds, which works perfect. Now this one, every time I hit it once is 1 minute. That's what I keep doing to make sure the stickiness is gone. And because I just put the full pigment of the UV resin in here, it's going to take longer to cure. That's the only trick with the UV resin is you can't do full color pigment. Like I did the pearl pink. It's going to take longer to sit. Now normally, if I wasn't sitting here, I'd put it all out in the sun because the sun will heat it quicker than a UV lamp will. That's why we always say if you're going to do that, make sure you sit it out in full sun and let it sit for about 5-10 minutes. Go do your thing, go do another project and come back and it'll be perfectly fine. Not a big deal. I'm going to cut another one because I don't feel like I was comfortable with that. But yeah, I love using UV. I'm actually trying to look for it in bigger bulk. That way I can possibly try to start using it on my other projects, my bigger projects. Now, UV resin is not made for bigger molds. They are made for the smaller molds. Just like you could do glitter in it. It's all the way over there. I was going to say you could do glitter in it. I do glitter in the, oh, here it is. I knew I had a sample out. I did this with the UV resin, which turned out beautifully. So just use your craft. Just be mindful that if you do, you gotta put in a potion jar, so no need to unmold it. Are you using a UV resin to seal the potion, Gary? Because I have done that, and it will work, but you only get a one-time use out of it. It's not like having a potion like this in a container that you can sprinkle out and use once. You know, use it multiple times. This has actually 5 shots in here. So if you're going to do a potion that you're going to use multiple times, then you're going to want to make multiple resin projects with that so they can use it multiple times. Like 5 shots. I would make 5 different skulls or 5 different molds and do it 5 different times. If you know what I mean? Try to explain it the best way I can. So that way you're getting the best out of it. No, I want the resin to harden and just stay in the jar. UV resin is the best. No, I want the resin to harden and just stay in the jar. Okay, so it's all going to be one project where it just sits there. Yeah, UV resin is the best thing for that because what you're doing is you're sealing it, and I think that's going to work out very well. Nope, nope, nope. Hmm. Not really what I wanted to use with it. I don't know where my. Aha. I know where it is. Hold on. Oh, it hurts my headphones. No. So, on top of it. No, not really, Sam. Hold on. UV resin is the best. The reason it is resistant to all types of things. I can't extreme hot environment. Yeah, UV resin does hold up. The epoxy resin, I've had some soupy issues with them. I have made large skulls that have been recommended and chessboards and stuff like that. So I'm still working on the right potion. Why is this so stiff? They have to soak these. And when you're done, do not, this is for everyone listening, do not put any resin in your sink. Once it cures in your pipes, you will have to replace it all. It is a mess. I have not done it, but I have been forewarned from other resin tutorials. So, yeah, not a fan. So I just got my swirl going again. I was not pleased with the other one. So all I'm doing is taking it. I don't know what in the world's on here. And I'm holding it up right until it gets to the curve, and then I'm just pushing it around. Now you can go as big or as thick as you want it. I still have, Sam, those small molds that we were using before. So then you get a perfect little swirl. So that works out well. If you guys have not done so, please hit that like button for me. It helps with the new channel, get the algorithm going, and if you have not done so, hit that subscribe. We will be doing all types of different stuff. Yeah, I just learned this actually not too long ago. So you just keep going all the way around as far as you want. It can go semi big. I think I want a couple more, and then we're going to do a smaller one. And then after that, I will attach it to the bottom of the skull. And then we will add our little hook onto it. And then I just clamp it together, and that is as big as I'm going to go with that. And then bring it over just a little bit more so it's lined up. There we go. And then I'm going to stand it up as if it was right on top of the hole. So you want that lined up. And then I will take it and trim it down just a smidge. I don't want it too big, but I don't want it too small. I like to hold it down because normally if I hold it up, it's going to go flying everywhere. And we don't want a flying, wire and take somebody's eyeball out. And then do the same thing and just turn it. I like to try to get it lined up as possible. And then you would switch it so it would face outwards and then just keep turning it until you get exactly what you want. So I only turn it for a couple of rounds and then I bring in my flat pliers and then clamp it and turn it. Now this one we're going to go all the way down. And then I'm going to turn it just so it's facing the opposite direction, kind of like a mirrored image. And then there's that. And now we are going to attach another hook to the bottom, but first, try to do this without nabbing my finger this time. This must have only better all things, all of this. Yeah, we have been working really hard on a lot of things lately. Gotta make sure that's a little bit bigger at the bottom, only so I have room to work. Now I am going to take my eye hook, my little scrap wire here, and I am just going to sit it right here. But I'm going to make a hole first. I do have another one. I don't know where it's at. And then I made a loop. I know what I want to do. And then I'm just going to switch hands. I'm going to straighten that one out. And then I'm going to take the smaller one and I am going to wrap it. Once and twice. And then I will just tuck the rest in. So now we have that neat little loop. Just like that. What I'm trying to do is just flatten this one up. There we go. This one is 1.1 milliliter, so it's a 10. No, not a 10. My head. So that is the thickness of this one. And then we will bring this back over. Since I already added the hook here, I am going to have to hold it. So I need to cut it down so where I can balance both. So I only want it like in a half. And then I hold it down. It's here somewhere. Try not to add too much because I will have to hold it. And I do not want access to my skin with this because it will start to burn. See, and now you can test it. And then I need to cut a little bit more off. Yep, that works right there. And then I hold it to make sure it's turning the right way. And then I will just hold it right underneath. It will take no more than a few seconds to start hardening and set. And then we can add the rest of our stuff. So how's y'all's day going? Sam, what's been going on with you? We haven't heard from you in a while. Everything going good? Yeah. You doing the DoorDash and stuff? We used to do that with Postmates. I'm gonna do it one more time because it's if I'm still able to move it just a smidget, I don't want it to move at all. Then I go ahead and cure it again. But yeah, we used to do Postmates, and I used to make Chad come with me when we were doing the store delivery stuff with the food and whatnot. And then I get a all service. Yeah. Very cool. So now it is pretty cure. Not gonna fall out on us. Put that back over there. Not like we need it, but it's there. And then I will take it around. Trying to pick the wire up. There we go. This is pretty small, but it's necessary because I'm going to try to make a loop out of it. A little ring, which can't say I don't have enough rings because hubby just bought me a whole bunch of them. And then I just take, if it's a small one, I take it over to the end of the table and then wrap. If it wants to stay. No, we're just going to give up on that. And we'll just get right in here. And I want a pretty big one. Not a ginormous one, but one that's going to fit. Maybe a thinner one. I don't want gold. Maybe this guy. Maybe him. Maybe him. Yeah, that's what I was saying, babe. We used to do it, but it really wasn't worth the gas doing, to be honest. So it is what it is. You give it a whirl and see if it works. So I am going to open this up a little bit more. And there is a way to open it correctly and a way not to open it. You do not want to bring it outwards because if you bring it out and away from each other, you're going to distort it and you will have a heck of a time getting it to go back in. Now, you want to do it away from you, as in one comes towards you, one goes away. So now we are going to add our hook. It will allow. I know it will. Oh, there we go. And then once I get it in, I will fix the loop that I made. Ouch. Because right now I just distorted it, which I can fix after I hook it up. But the top one is distorted because I put the hook in there, which is fine. So once we hook it onto here, close it up. Then we have our little dangle. But now I have the opportunity to go back in and correctly fix this loop, the spiral that I made on top. Now, if I had to mail it, I'd be able to hammer this flat. Haha, babe. I can actually see behind me this time. So let's get our little hooks, which I think these are super cute. I really do. I'm not a fan of skulls. These are super cute. They turned out really well. And we are combining our shops, hubby and I. And quite shortly, we will be on Esty full time. But that may not be until we are upstairs. So I have some type of function. I cannot function in this corner. We have air business all over the living room at the moment. Just try to make it work. Doors, just making sure it's closed. You do not want any ends open. And I just cracked the nail. It's okay. And then it is done, which I think it turned out really cute. So these will be up probably within the next few days. I also have other new stuff going up too. These little rosettes, which are pretty cute and simple. And I can easily do these on the bottom of the skulls as well, which I think I might just stick with the spiral because I like that. And then in gold, the rosettes, which turned out really cute as well. And then, oh, Rosie. Watch, she took it. I did have another one here. I think my daughter took it. It was a ring inside of a ring. Custom made tumblers. Where's the one that you oops on? Hold on. So this is one of the tumblers that hubby oops on. I have a color rosette necklace. Oh, cute! Adorable. I am trying to get other color rings in, but I have to work with hubby on all that. So I'll be lucky to get what I get. So this is something that my father did when he was younger. He was about 16, I think. This is going to be hard to see on this tumbler because his actual one is packed up, ready to go. And he used to work with lions, the ones that used to come from the circus that is no longer around. He used to help with that. And he had a picture of it. Again, this is just an oops. It did not work out, but we put it on a tumbler, and the final project that hubby did is up on our Facebook. I'm not coming soon. Yeah, it is. I know. So yes, we do tumblers, which it's really cute. I love it. It's just a memorable thing. And then the other thing that I am not allowed to talk about until it reaches its destination, we will be posting pictures up of that after it reaches where it's going. Then I will get the go ahead to release that, which is also a custom. We've been doing a lot of custom stuff for family, which has definitely worked out in the best. So we do customs, tumblers, t-shirts, Hubby made me this. It's my mouse pad. There is another one around here. I don't know where it is with it. But, right here. So I have these. He's made after we got our, and the hats. Yeah, hats. I don't know what you did with the other one. After we got our tank, our eco tank, it's been a life-changing experience with the business. And we have been able to do so much more than what we actually really thought we would be able to. So it does work out in the best. But I will try to get, what did I do? Oh, it was the way it was laying. I thought I overlapped it. I will try to get these up by later today because I do want them up as soon as possible. And then I will give you guys the link. It has been a game changer, a life changer, a game changer, however you want to put it. It has changed a lot of ways on how we do our business. We have been learning, taking classes, tweaking the way we do things. I have a book over here that I actually write and make notes and classes on how we do things, so we can go back as a reference to help us learn more, help us progress in what we do. So we have been working our tails off. That's why nobody has seen us on YouTube in a while, a good hot minute, and other personal reasons. And then we also have keychains coming, a little guitar keychains. That's not what I wanted to grab. Out of the way. So these will be coming also. And then I made other ones. They're acrylic round with the Eco Tank print on there as a design. So this isn't finished at all, but it gives you an idea of what's to come. This still needs the resin on there, but it's getting there. So I appreciate you guys for coming in and hanging out and checking us out. Give us thumbs up. I will try to do this more often if you guys would like. It is super fun. I enjoy it. I really do. It's just hard for me during the day, but I do need to get ready to get off because kids have half day today. So I need to go get little girl from the bus, and then we are headed to the post office. She likes to be my helper and put everything in the mailbox. See you, Gary. Thank you for coming in. Hope I was able to help. So I will be hopping off. Again, happy crafting. Let your imagination go and make what your heart desires, because at the end of it, you're going to love what you make. Love you guys.